Yeah, it is.
In 3, 2, 1. Yo, everyone, you're listening to Filmmaker Mike and the Boys. Joining me for this episode is Sequestered Jester.
Hey, baby.
And Kuya.
Hello.
Alrighty, we're back after a bit of a hiatus there. A brief hiatus. We're back. So Pinhead is taking a break. We hope he'll be able to join us sooner or later, whenever he's ready. So lots have happened. We're now in November, and we finally got to see a few movies. But before we start with the movie reviews and sharing our thoughts and opinions on those, we want to talk about a teaser trailer that was dropped last Monday as a surprise. No one saw this coming because for whatever reason, like everyone was expecting, at least I was expecting to see something like this drop on Disney Plus Day, which is this coming week on November 12th. It's no secret, Disney has been hyping it up. Disney Plus Day. There's going to be announcements for everything Disney Plus, all their new series and original movies and all these things that are coming. They're going to be dropping trailers and sneak peeks and all that stuff. But last Monday, we got an early teaser for the Book of Boba Fett. So that dropped early Monday morning, and it's a very brief teaser. It's like, what, a minute and 30?
Yeah, it's a little too short, for my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I think, it's definitely a teaser. I have a feeling whatever they drop on November 12th could be an extended version of this that we've already seen.
Right.
So, but either way, so when I saw it, I thought it looks cool. There was nothing particularly like that, that they showed that was like, oh my God, So I think they're really holding. They're still holding back from November 12th. I'm assuming they're gonna drop something there that'll make that'll pretty much break the internet and break the collective bucket-headed minds of all the Boba Fett fans and lovers everywhere. So
Yep, all like 8 of you guys. Yep.
Shut up.
Sure. Sure. So yeah. But yeah, still really cool just to get an idea of what we're going to get for the Book of Boba, which is going to drop on December 29th, which is really nice because after the Christmas holiday and in between New Year's, we get, Disney Plus is like, here, have some breadcrumbs. So it should be a lot of fun. I think we're getting 8 episodes as well.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, the names were leaked, remember?
That's
They
right.
leaked up the names and stuff. So
Yeah, I think it's 8.
They dropped the titles of the episodes. Of course, we get to see a lot of Boba and Fennec Shand and some very familiar aliens and creatures from the Star Wars, particularly from the original trilogy, which I thought was really cool. There's something about seeing those background characters from the original trilogy that just brings you, for me, it brings it all pretty much makes you feel like it's home, you're home, when you see those characters. And we're seeing different sides, different perspectives of the late Jabba the Hutt. Well, it's now Boba's palace. So
Yeah.
Jester and I were discussing, there's going to be a Lego set called Boba's Palace.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
so basically they're just gonna rehash fucking Jabba the Hutt's palace and changing up the throne or something. Yeah?
Why not? Right? Why not? He took over, so
God.
It serves the story. It makes sense. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we see a little bit of action in the trailer, and there's also an actress. What's her name from the movie, the '80s movie? She's really popular from that Flashdance.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. Jennifer. Is it Jennifer Beals? I'm not sure. Hold on.
Yeah, Jennifer Beals. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, yeah. So she's one of the Twi'leks. I think she's the orange Twi'lek, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Yeah. So But yeah,
What a feeling.
I thought it was really cool. Jester, what'd you think of the trailer, the teaser?
I thought it was a massive letdown. I mean, for crying out loud, how long did we wait for this thing? I said in my review, it looks like a massive letdown, but I'm sorry, the trailer itself is a massive letdown. I don't know if this show is going to be. No, I mean, I'll disagree with Mike on this one point. I think they're going to continue this boring trailer trend until the show comes out, because just to make the hype even better, maybe make the hype even better for, the daily drops and wait for it to trend all the way on Twitter. I don't know. I think the only thing that came out of that trailer that seemed exciting to me was the fact that I'm hoping it's not just, cover up, but that we see more of the criminal underworld, like really get to take a closer look at it. And I think that's pretty much it as far as what kind of got me somewhat excited, but it didn't really. I don't know. I was more excited before I saw the trailer. Now I'm just kind of like, but I don't know. Well, I'll still have to wait and see.
So remember, we were also discussing off the air. They could just continue the trend of boring trailers, because for the Mando season 2, the trailer was cool, but it wasn't anything spectacular,
Right.
But that's already because they already built the fan base hype. Everyone's excited for it. Everyone's gonna be watching it. So it's the same with this. They could just hold everything back and just show glimpses, which I actually kind of like too, because I really prefer now just being surprised and not knowing anything, and just I'd love to speculate and imagine, like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened, but if it doesn't happen, okay, that's fine. Like, I want to see what the story is, but I genuinely would because the thing now with a lot of marketing and trailers, especially for big movies, like especially these Marvel movies, a lot is shown in the trailer, especially like the funny moments, which I get it. They have to show that, they have to show bits of humor here and there. But then when you see it in the movie, when you see that scene, for me, sometimes it's like, I've already seen this. So I don't laugh as much,
Yeah.
But getting a little bit of a segue, like speaking about the Eternals, I've seen the trailer so many times, and I like the trailer, the final trailer that they released. But when I saw the movie last night, so there's a scene where they're sitting at a table and Icarus slams on the table because he's thinking, he even says, like, what is this table made out of? Vibranium. And he smashes it to test it, and the table breaks in half. And what's his name?
Festus.
Fastos says,
Festos,
IKEA fall collection. And everyone always laughs at that. Julie always laughs at that line. But there's actually more to the dialogue that was added that I thought was great, because it was actually amusing, because I didn't see all of it yet. So I appreciate when we see more of a scene than just, them always showing us, and I understand they have to show money shots, there's to really hype up and get people excited. But then again, for Book of Boba, this is on Disney Plus. This isn't unlike a regular movie in a movie theater, where they want to make sure people, buy those tickets and then, see the movie in the theater. And their hope is always to, word of mouth and post on social media and share how excited or how they enjoyed the movie. For this one, it's different because, of course, it's on Disney Plus, which we know the numbers and the fact that a lot of people have tuned in to see The Mandalorian. But yeah, I feel like the hype is there, but it's different in some sense.
Yeah, totally.
But I think definitely, I think as we get closer, it's gonna just continue building up, because I think they're also, I mean, aside from a Book of Boba, we also have the Hawkeye show, which is dropping in a few weeks, actually, Thanksgiving week. So I'm sure they're going to be hyping that up as well, because that's going to be releasing ahead of the Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, Kuya, what'd you think of the teaser?
When I saw it, I was just like, oh, okay. So they're gonna go about it this way. That's cool. I guess they're gonna try to make it like a syndicate, like like Boba's gonna create his own syndicate outside of the other criminal syndicates in the Star Wars universe, right? Like what was this, the one that was in Solo, the Crimson whatever,
Crimson
Crimson
Dawn.
Dawn.
Crimson Dawn, and then like, there's some other ones, the Pikes and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So we're probably gonna see some of those guys in this one if it is gonna be like a what Jester said, like that kind of piqued my interest, and I said, oh, like I want to see more of the criminal underworld and all that stuff. It's something that's not talked about or seen in any of the movies, just because like it's just like they're bounty hunters, they're criminals, they have a criminal network, but this is kind of a way for them to expand their universe in that sense. So this would be kind of exciting for that. It gave me some of those like mafioso type of vibes, like when Boba Fett was talking about like, oh, I'm gonna create something out of they're gonna respect me instead of fear me or whatever. Like it reminded me of something that Lucky Luciano said back in the 20s, that like if people are afraid of you, they're gonna figure out a way to hurt you or anything like that. But if they respect you, then they'll do whatever it takes to help you out or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I first heard it, I was like, "God, that's bullshit. Fucking Boba Fett would never say anything like that." But then I realized during the season 2 of Mandalorian, he went through a lot of things, and then like during his time alone in Tatooine, when he got his ass handed to him by a blind Han Solo. You know what I mean? So, and even though he survived the Sarlacc pit or whatever, so he probably has a little bit of growing up to do, and say, hey, maybe my way of doing things before to strike fear isn't really necessarily the way. So maybe this is a different way for me to do things now. So it didn't say much anything of anything in the trailer, but it gave off those kinds of vibes that they're gonna try to make it into like a mob type of front or whatever. So hopefully the 8 episodes will be enough.
I was gonna say, because who knows what his definition of respect is.
I know. I mean, like for me, respect is respect. Yeah, like like
right.
you're doing things like in a fair, just way. It doesn't have to be honorable. Like you can be a dickhead, but like if you just do it in a fair way, then people will respect you. But for me, that's kind of outside the character of Boba Fett. But again, I digress.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert of Boba Fett or anything, but that it caught my ear because it didn't sound like something that he would say normally.
It's just like he has a code, but it didn't sound like that was his code.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like he's like no. So for me, I'm just like okay. Again, the what you guys were talking about in regards to keeping the trailers a little lighthearted and all that stuff. It tends to surprise the people at the end because of whatever they're afraid of spoilers or anything like that. I think that's going to be the trend for moving forward, because Filoni and Favreau they don't want to spoil anything anymore just because of what happened to Marvel and all that bullshit that's been happening.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I may find the trailer boring, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's good that they're doing that.
Look at us. We were, when we saw the Bad Batch trailer, we were all hyped up.
Right.
And look what happened at the end of the season. I'm just like,
yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, you liked it, yeah. But like for me, I'm just like, that's it.
I enjoyed it, but I forgot about it.
We have Omega, and that's it. So like people need to stop paying attention to trailers as much, or putting their eggs in that trailer basket.
The trailer reactions, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, that's
all right. Take it easy, Soups.
That's for the shills. That's for the people that are like, oh my god. So, I was surprised, so Jester didn't do a funny one in regards to like fucking, what the trailer reaction when just as soon as he saw like Disney and then Boba Fett colors or whatever, he should have done like
squirt some mayonnaise up or something.
No, yeah, old faithful guys are like fucking exploding and shit like that.
Hey, that's pretty
that
good.
would that would have been cool. So
Yeah.
but it, it's gonna be. I'm gonna end up watching it anyways because like we need to talk about something here. So like no, again I'm not. I told you guys I changed my perspective on Boba once I saw him fight. That was the game changer in season 2. Remember I told you guys that.
Yep.
That when he garnered some respect from me when I saw that and then I realized I was like okay, then there you go. Then he can call himself a badass fucking bounty hunter because he did all that shit. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm excited. Again, seeing Ming Na again, beautiful, beautiful woman is going to be a fantastic thing for me. I love her. She's one of my favorite actresses, and just that little thing that they said at the very end, right? When they were saying like talk like that before Jabba would have thrown you guys under the whatever the thing, and then Boba at the very end it's like, but please go ahead and speak your mind,
Speak freely.
or speak freely or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, holy shit, that's a lot scarier than getting dropped.
Exactly, because you don't know. He's gonna fucking shoot you in the head, or what's gonna happen.
Or he's gonna have Darth Vader capture you and put you in a carbonite.
Yeah. Vader is not here around this time.
I mean,
He's a Force
it
ghost
doesn't matter.
somewhere.
Hey, that Force ghost might have captured somebody too. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure.
It could happen.
I do want to mention there is a shot in the trailer of the Tusken Raiders walking along the Tatooine desert, and remember when we first saw Boba Fett at the beginning of Mando season 2, he was in Tusken Raider garb, or at least he had the gaffy stick. So we could see some flashbacks in this series of how he got into that Tusken garb.
Maybe he survived, right? Like maybe he crawled his way up, and then the Tusken Raiders rescued him from the Sarlacc pit.
Probably, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And there is also a shot that I thought was interesting of his helmet dropping to the ground, and it looks like a bunch of credits or arcade tokens. I don't know.
Empire credits. I think it looked like Empire credits.
Yeah, it drops from the helmet. So, just some really interesting shots. I mean, nothing mind blowing, nothing like oh my god, but still cool. I mean, and Ming Na looks great. Ming Na looks great alongside.
She was by far more menacing than Boba Fett was, in a sense, like the way she was like walking, talking, whatever. So, right. but that's that she's gonna be Boba's protector because she owes her life, right? It's a life debt, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right, because he saved her.
He saved her, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and I like that he's having a team meeting. And he's asking everyone, like, hey, what do you guys think?
If we cooperate, like, we can run the show. And Boss K, Boss K would be like, or one of the Boss K people. I don't know. It's like, I was like, whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like the direction this is going because, again, like, we could see him just going on his own with Fennec Shand. And that would have been cool, too. But I feel like there's already been a lot of stories that's been told about that, and we kind of saw a little bit of it, a little bit of that in the Mandalorian season 2. That I think this is the most logical, So, I mean, why wouldn't you take over? Huh?
In regards to Crimson Dawn, who was in charge of Crimson Dawn at the time when Boba Fett was still alive? Around the Mandalorian time, because what's his name was in charge of it, but then he died, right? Prior. What the hell is Darth Maul, right? Right. Maul was in charge of the Crimson Dawn before.
So it says here, I did a Google on. So this is Wikipedia. The leaders of Crimson Dawn has been Darth Maul, Dryden Voss. So Dryden Voss, it says here publicly, he was the leader publicly. because
Yeah.
Crimson Dawn, I guess, was more in the shadow. Was more in the shadows, and it says here Lady Kira
Yeah.
was also the leader.
So, is there a chance that we're going to see Kira or what?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be
I
kind of
mean,
cool.
it would be cool. It would make sense if they do that. Then it would make more sense if they continued the story in Solo.
Yeah.
You know. So
around this time also is Han Solo alive? He was, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he still a pirate, or was he a general already?
5 years afterwards, he probably
Yeah.
went back to his old ways of being
This is after
smuggler.
Jedi. This is after Jedi. So now that you mention it, let's see.
goes back and shacks up with Kira.
Something, I don't know. Then they make Rey, and then Rey says, "No, fuck it, I don't want to be a Solo. I'm going to be Palpatine."
So they drop her off on Jakku as she's a little kid, and they leave
Yeah.
her there.
Yeah, I think that would have made the most sense to me. But then, like, I like drama, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Han is actually with Leia here because 5 years
Okay.
after Jedi, that would approximate that Ben Solo, is around 5 years old. I don't think he doesn't leave until Ben Solo is much older.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's see. It says here. So this is from one of the books. It's hard because there's just no can you just break it down for me? You have to post all these paragraphs. Like, goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm not seeing an exact time.
It's all right. Then that's fine.
Yeah. I'm assuming, because I know that when he leaves, Ben Solo is much older.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, so November 12th is coming right up. Also, it is a Friday, so it's this Friday, and which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's the day we're gonna get a lot of these. If we're not getting it, we have to get some kind of extended trailer or something.
I'm sure we will.
But I think I don't know if they're also mentioned like a behind the scenes look or something like that.
That's for the Book of Boba, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's also rumor that we may get either a behind the scenes or a teaser for Kenobi. So, Andor will probably get a trailer as well because that's
nobody cares.
Next year.
Nobody cares.
So, well, I do. So
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it.
Han
Might be
Solo
something
Light,
cool.
Han Solo Light was the most boring one in Rogue One, to be honest with you. So,
well, we'll see.
but it's all right.
We shall see. So
He's a good actor, so he'll make do.
Yeah, and he's producing it too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's producing it. So the fact that he's producing it shows like dedication. Like, oh, he's just not in it for So I thought that was pretty cool. And see, that's the thing.
I mean, to be honest with you, he's in it for the money because he is producing it. So.
Yeah, but having that extra responsibility also,
Oh yeah.
It shows a little bit more, because he could just be like.
I actually have to care. I have to care because it's my money.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. I wish that Disney would not have allowed to kill all the characters from Rogue One. At least and that's the thing. They didn't. I don't think they expected how much people would really enjoy those characters. Like, they shouldn't have ended it there because now it gives them a dead end. Because all you can do is prequels to that movie for those characters. You can't continue their story because they all die there, right?
Yeah.
So I or at least maybe kill a few. You don't have to kill all of them. Like, holy shit! But then again, I do in some sense I do applaud them because it is very bold of them to just fuck it, kill them.
No, but
then now,
again, like in episode 4, that's what they said, right? The team of Rogue One sacrificed themselves, right, to get this to us.
right.
Okay, so I mean, when people
Well,
say like
not-
they sacrificed them,
Not specifically the team of Rogue One. They just said many Bothan spies died to give us this information.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh.
second Death Star, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the
that's
first
right,
one, I
'cause
think
it's
they
Mon
said
Mothma.
Rogue
That's
One.
right. That's right. It's Mon Mothma that says that. Yeah. So she's in Return of the Jedi. That's right. But yeah, in episode 4, Rogue One is never mentioned yet because Rogue One
Oh, okay.
does not exist. It just says in the opening crawl text, Rebel spies, if I'm not mistaken. So,
All right.
let's see. But yeah, I'm looking everything that they're gonna drop. I'm looking forward to. Bring it, especially for the Star Wars series. I'm hyped. So yeah, okay. So here's the opening crawl for Episode 4: A New Hope. It's a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base have won their first victory against the evil Galactic Empire. That's in Rogue One because they didn't know where the Rebel base was yet. On Yavin. During the battle, Rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon. So there you go. Yeah, you have the team of Rogue One, but here they're just mentioned as Rebel spies, and that's the genius of George Lucas. Like, holy shit, dude! The opening. Who would have thought that the opening crawl would be another movie years later, before the original movie? Like, that's just brilliant. And what's his name? One of the ILM guys came up with that idea for Rogue One. Came up with a story idea. Let's see. So we lost Jester for a bit, but he'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know, man, I know the guy's name. I'm just blanking. But yeah, anyway, one of the ILM guys, he came up with the idea for Rogue One, the story idea, because of that opening crawl, that opening text. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty damn awesome. So, alrighty. So yeah, from Book of Boba and the upcoming Disney Plus Day, we finally got to see Dune, which was released a few weeks ago. I saw it in the theater a few weeks ago, opening weekend, and I absolutely loved it and enjoyed it. So I think I was really holding off, and I made sure to see it opening weekend because I really wanted to experience it on the big screen. And then if I wanted to rewatch it, which I've rewatched it on HBO Max a few times already, but you know, this is definitely seeing this movie on the big screen is definitely the way to go. It's a truly epic story, and I've never read the book. I never saw any of the movies or the 80s movie. So I went in this cold, and I just wanted to experience it for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. Seeing the trailers before the movie was awesome, especially seeing the Batman trailer on the big screen, which was very loud. Was awesome. I really enjoyed that as well. And then the movie is fantastic, and it's doing really well at the box office. I love the cast and everything about it. The effects, the fact that they shot in the desert in Jordan, and I think Dubai. They also shot in Dubai. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's definitely a true sci-fi epic that people need to see first on the big screen. I would say, no home theater can match, seeing this on the big screen. So at least the first time. Jester, you saw Dune on IMAX?
Oh yeah, I did see it on IMAX, and that's the way I recommend you should see it. 100%. What was that?
No, nothing.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, as much as I'd like to see it on IMAX, it's a 2.5-hour movie. and our IMAX theater here, the seats suck. you're-
Yeah, I
You're
was
kind
feeling
of
it.
curled up.
Yeah, no, I was definitely feeling it. Like like the hour and 45-minute mark, I was like, man, my back. And I was like, oh my gosh. No, yeah. At least see it in theaters though. Yeah, if you have a good, because our theater seats are way better than the IMAX theater seats. So, but it was good. It was great actually. It was such a beautiful movie. I mean, every second of it was quite the marvel to look at. And as of a fan of the book, it was a very close rendition of the book, and I'm thankful for that. Denny did a fantastic job. I wish that we had part 2 coming out a little closer than what we got, but Warner Brothers likes to screw
Be
with
safe.
everybody. So
You want to play it safe first.
yeah, play safe. That's like, what? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I can go on a rant about that, but
Yeah, they're idiots. So
yeah, it's like, yeah, how has playing safe gotten you guys so far, huh?
yeah.
Not very far.
So, just to interrupt you a little bit, since you're on the topic of Dune Part 2, reportedly filming will begin in July of 2022.
Yep.
Nice.
And the release date for Part 2 isn't until fall 2023. But you know what? I would say be happy because,
There's a
another
part 2.
movie, another movie that did very well still doesn't have an announced sequel. And it's called Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that did very well, HBO Max numbers wise.
Oh, I
And
thought
yet-
you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the original one, Man of Steel, that actually did very well also.
Yes, but in a way, we had the continuation of that story with Batman versus Superman.
I mean, we're talking about Man of Steel too, though. That's the thing.
Right, but let's
So-
talk about restoring the Snyderverse in that aspect. We haven't gotten anything. At least Dune, within days of the release, Warner Brothers was like, Dune Part 2, it's happening. And all the cast shared it on their Instagram. And I'm like, wow, if only Warner Brothers gave the same amount of respect to the man himself, Zack Snyder, and the fans that are willing to support this. Anyway, continue on, Jester.
Yeah, no, it was a great movie. Very close rendition to the book, compared to especially the other material we've gotten. I wish Pinhead was here; he'd be able to really dive deep onto this stuff. But I can only do what I can do. The acting was flawless. The visuals were amazing. It's been a while since I've seen a movie that's been this good. That just made me enjoy every second of it. I wasn't even a movie, but I guess the last thing it could be would be Mandalorian season 2, where I was just enjoying every bit of it. But yeah, the sound, of course, Hans Zimmer just knocked it out of the park. It was, I don't know, it all just came together perfectly. It all came together perfectly. And I recommend it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have a question. Was there anything that was drastically changed from the book to the movie version that you kind of didn't like, or maybe that was kind of maybe not necessarily didn't like, but maybe you were just surprised at?
One of the characters was changed from male to female.
Oh, okay.
The doctor, right? Not the doctor. I'm talking about the council for the Emperor. That was the one, right?
I think it was their. I don't remember the name. It was their guide. The one
the Fremen, the girl.
Yeah, she was Fremen. Yeah.
Dr. Liet Kynes.
Yep. She was supposed to be a he in the book and the movies. So.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
in the book it's she's a he, but the change didn't do anything. It seemed fine. Like
Right.
I thought she did a good job. She played the character right in my mind. So I was like, okay, well that's all I can ask for. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so I think that's the only like major change from what I remember.
Yeah.
All of it's pretty close. I can understand that the story is like a little hard to comprehend, but at the same time, they do a pretty good job of filling you in as a non-book reader, like if you're just going to see it, like they answer pretty much most of the questions that you're going to have in this first part. I assume they're going to do answering the rest of the questions in the later part, but yeah, so
Right.
it was amazing.
I also liked the different languages that was in the film, and even the sign language that Lady Jessica does.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was brilliant because it actually worked into the story.
Right.
You know, several times, not just once, but a few times. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, the cast was fantastic. Everyone is fantastic, and I'm just like, man, these. And I kind of wish, like, because I remember when they released that sneak peek photo of Oscar Isaac in the armor, and I was like, that looks badass. It looks like a Metal Gear armor or something, like. And I was hoping, like, oh, we're gonna see them in action in this armor, and they're like, no, what?
Wrong movie.
Nope.
Right? But
Man.
it looked really cool. But like, yeah, unfortunately, no.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi drama, not a sci-fi action.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's fine, because for a 2.5-hour movie, I never got bored. The storytelling was very well done. Where in fact, like, you have all these scenes that just work cohesively, and it tells the story it starts with Paul Atreides, and then of course all the characters around him, his mother, his father, and the House Atreides, and all these things, like, really fantastic.
yeah.
So, Kuya, what did you think of Dune?
That was great. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad that people that love the book appreciates this movie, because again, the one that David Fincher made in the 80s was a little askew. He went had creative liberties on that movie. So the aspect of the powers of the Bene Gesserit, the speaking, or the what is it called? Is it the speak?
The voice.
The voice, or something like that. It's when my wife saw it, she nudged me and said, "Hey, isn't that like the things that the Jedi did?" And I was like, yeah, I'll explain it later. And then after the movie, I explained to her that the voice, like the powers that the Bene Gesserit had, and all that stuff, is an inspiration for George Lucas to do for the Jedi in regards to the mind trick and stuff.
Right.
So, and she was like, "Oh, that's kind of nice." And I explained to her that this book was like a very influential book for all sci-fi people. That, and then for her, she was entertained. She was just like she was like this, right? So we saw two movies yet last night. We saw The Eternals, and we saw Dune. And she said the two movies that she saw is it's part it's part of a bigger whole, and she thoroughly enjoyed it, and she's excited to see more and all that stuff. She wasn't really looking forward to it because she's not really fond of Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya as actors, so but she liked the way they acted in that sense. When she saw, or when we saw the fighting, like the training with the Gurney and Paul, my wife was just like tapping me in the shoulder. She's like, oh my god, it's Filipino martial arts. And I'm like, yes, it is. And I'm happy because again, it's showing again things that I know and all that stuff. And I was like, they got it down to a science, and like the way they were fighting. And I was like, that's kind of cool. The way that the shield gesture was working was absolutely great. It's not like that. It's not like that blocky shit that they did in the 80s, which was kind of stupid. But
Right,
I saw some footage of that, the shield, and I'm like,
I was like, what the? You can barely see anything. But then this one is nice because it's in layers, and like and what Gurney said, like the slow blade kills. So, and like for me, it was kind of cool to see all that stuff. Duncan Idaho is a badass in the book. He's still a badass in the movies. Jason Momoa did well. Um, uh, Oscar Isaac as Leto. The only gripe that I have is I wish he was taller. But again, for me, that was the only thing. But he's short. We can't expect Oscar Isaac to grow for a movie.
It's okay. They put him next to Brolin. He was short too. It looked fine.
Yeah, but like for me, when I saw fucking him as Leto, I was like, oh, the way he was speaking was very royal like. He was very he was great. The actress that played Lady Jessica was awesome. Fucking the cast itself, the Harkonnen boss, what's his name? Fucking amazing.
Baron?
Yeah, amazing. He was so menacing in like the scenes that he was in. And fucking Batista looked great. I was just like impressed with everything in that sense. So and this is the thing that I have issues with the people that saw it. There was a couple of people that made a comment, and I was like, I don't understand what the hype is about this movie. This was boring as hell, right? That's what the two guys said, and I was about to grab my pocket knife and start stabbing them motherfuckers because they're stupid.
Jeez.
Because it's part one. It's barely half of the book. They ended on a part where they had to end it because the next few pages of the book, they have to it has to be on a different movie, otherwise it's going to be a longer movie.
Well, it's
they
like
had
Pinhead,
to end it there.
It's like Pinhead was saying, is that everyone's so accustomed to action all the time now that they have a movie that just tells a story, they just get bored.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And for me, the way they built the world, like how grandiose the fucking emperor was, and like they were talking about how expensive is this shit, and are we gonna pay for this? All that stuff, right? Like, what is it is it absolutely necessary? All that stuff. Like for me, it was great. Is like they barely said anything about the politics of what the world was, but you understood that the House Atreides was in fucking trouble at the beginning because they said like the people are looking for them for leadership, but this is a big deal. If we fuck this up, we're dead.
Yep.
Right.
That's basically what Leto said to Paul on the cliff. So in the smallest sense of without even creating a big ass speech, to inspire his son, he just said it in the fewest words, and like the way that Denny shot it, the way the script writers wrote it, the way Frank Herbert wrote it was absolutely magnificent. It's just like, we have to do this, or if we fail, we're dead. Like it's going to be war. So it was like, I don't know. People don't understand world building anymore, and if Lord of the Rings, if Fellowship of the Ring fucking happened now than it was before.
I know, dude.
Oh, people would have fucking hated that movie. Like, absolutely.
Yep.
Because that's the comparison that I see here in regards to Dune is like, you have to pay attention to every little detail.
Well, to be fair, when I saw the Fellowship of the Ring in theaters, I had no idea about the books. When I saw that movie, I was like, and then the movie ended, I'm like, that's it? Like, where are we going about Dune, bro? Let's go. Like, come on, I'm still here. But here in Dune, right at the beginning, at the title, it says Part 1. I appreciated that because I know there's a book. I know there's a few books. But, for the general moviegoer, general audience member who, hasn't read the book, when they see the Part 1, that should clue everyone in, like, hey, this is Part 1 of a story. There's more. So watch this first so you understand what's going on in the second one, So I really like that we saw, like, they put part 1 right there, right at the beginning, right at the title.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I do agree. It would have been interesting to see Fellowship of the Ring if it was released for the first time, like in this day and age. People would be like,
and you can understand like the issues that these renowned directors, renowned filmmakers have against the Marvel movies. I'm
Right.
not faulting them for saying the shit that they did, because again, they babied like all of the audiences. They spoon fed them all of this shit. Here's some action, here's some little bit of comedy, a little bit of drama, just to mix it up. But then action, action CGI, whatever. So that you're good to go and get the fuck out of my way and give me all your money. Nobody. It's hard to tell a story anymore because people say, "Oh, it's too boring." I'll give it a 56%. I'll give this. I'll give that. I'll give whatever. Like, just fucking watch the movie, shut the hell up, and then if you don't like it, then say something about it afterwards. But just enjoy it for what it is. It's an experience, Like, it's, I don't know. Like, I really wanted to slap the shit out of those kids. Like, I was so mad, dude.
well, you got to look at it this way. At least they still check the movie out, because they could have just said like "fuck that movie" and not see it at all, and not experience it at all. Because now, at least with people like that, they've at least watched it, and you're hoping that it will get them back for part 2, and maybe it might even get them curious about the book or the audiobook, whatever it is. Who knows? So
No, but it's for me, it's enjoyable. I liked it. It's like one of Denny's best movies. It's better than the 2049 movie. I mean, yeah, just fucking watch it. If people who hasn't seen it haven't watched it yet, just fucking watch it. Just enjoy yourself. Even if you watch it on a small screen, you'll enjoy it. If you watch it on the big screen, you'll enjoy it even more.
Dude, my dad watched it on his phone.
what?
On his phone.
Wow.
And he loved it.
The
loved
way
it.
Denny
See?
Villeneuve intended.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yep. And he's like, "Are you serious? There's like a part 2. When's that coming out? I gotta wait for that now." And I'm like, "Yeah, you gotta wait for that."
Yeah. That's like watching the next Christopher Nolan. But hey, at least he loved it, right? So at least he's gonna watch it again. I mean, hey, as they said, and that's the thing. George Lucas even said, or I think it was George Lucas, or I can't remember which director, but I'm pretty sure it could be George Lucas, that he said that in the future, he was predicting the future, people won't be watching movies in the movie theater, or not specifically, not exclusively just in the movie theater. They'll be watching it, at the comfort of their own home. Not just
It was Spielberg, I think.
Or Spielberg. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So, as that's the thing now, especially in the day and age of streaming, you're lucky if your movie is even seen, and or your show is seen and even talked about at all, because of the amount of content that we're getting. There's so many options now to watch. It wasn't like, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you had a select, and the amount of movies, even pre-COVID, you had movie after releasing. You had all these movies competing for time and attention at the movie theaters, that not every single movie got the proper attention. So at least now, and that's the thing with, I guess, with the accessibility and the technology, if you have a good story, people will find it, people will watch it. So, so this is from variety.com. This was posted 3 days ago. I was curious about how it's doing box office wise. It says here, this is from 3 days ago. Overall, Dune has made $75 million in North America, and more than 17 million has come from premium formats. So Dune may be the most dramatic example of IMAX's newfound influence, but it's not the sole blockbuster in pandemic times to generate outsized receipts from premium screens. So that's from 3 days ago, and we're recording this on a Sunday night. So by tomorrow, we'll probably get new box office records, and we'll see how much it's gone up over the weekend. Because last night when we watched Eternals, right before the movie, we were walking in. There was a crowd that was walking out, and it sounded like they just watched Dune, and this is a big crowd. So I'm like, that's a pretty good.
Were they saying like, oh, like the movie wasn't about anything?
No,
it was boring.
No,
it was boring.
None of that. It was more like they were praising it, and like a lot of people talking about the cast and the actors. So, yep.
Fucking chills. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Also here, there is another one. So this is from Forbes, and it says, so this was posted earlier today at 1:05 p.m. So it says here, box office, Dune survives Eternals, has No Time to Die, nears 670 million. So it says here, Dune earned 7.62 million in its third weekend, bringing in, so earlier I mentioned as of 3 days ago was 75 million in the US. It's now at 83.95 million in 17 days. So that's a halfway decent hold considering Eternals took most of its IMAX screens. And I'm curious as to whether the general audience reception for the MCU movie will serve to benefit the Frank Herbert adaptation. So nonetheless, 100 million domestic is a coin toss at this point, if that'll happen for Dune. But the fact that Warner Brothers announced part 2 is, pretty good since it's already pretty much confirmed. But yeah, it'll be, I think Eternals will definitely be the number one this weekend, of course. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. But it would be cool if Dune at least makes it to 100 million. Because I think, it cost like over 200 to make this one. So.
Yeah, I mean, they gave $100 million to fucking what's his name, to portray the Sandworm. You know what I mean? He gained like
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
he played
a lot of weight, right?
He gained so much weight.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was like, when I saw that meme, I was like, oh, fucking okay, cool.
Also, when I want to say a lot of people, especially particularly on TikTok, talking about Dune and how it was false advertising that Zendaya was barely in the movie. And I'm like, what's false advertising about that? They didn't tell you. The trailer doesn't tell you that this movie is all about Zendaya. Like, why? Where did you get that? This is what? How is that false advertising?
Fucking stands, man. Hey, she was in the first shot. She was in most of the shots in the movie. She was at the very end of the movie, so she was all over the movie.
Pretty much. So what do you want? Like, and
no,
obviously,
they wanted her to speak. So she only had a few lines.
Well, she spoke, and so I don't know. This is just interesting because I just happened to see this. This is from Yahoo.com. How much did Zendaya get paid for Dune? Because it's one of the search results here. And it says here, given her small role in the film, Showbiz Galore so this is an estimate, estimates her salary was a cool $300,000.
Jeez.
While this is nothing to be disappointed by, it's a lot less than what the film's lead, Timothée Chalamet, made at around $2 million. Well, of course, he's the lead.
Majority. Yeah, he's the majority of the movie, dude. What are you talking about? She'll make more the next one.
When you're number one on the call sheet, you better get paid. You bet, because you're there every damn day.
Jester, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, Shawnee has like a very important part later in the book, right?
Zendaya?
Yeah, Zendaya's part.
Oh, yeah.
Shawnee, right? Shawnee? Or what's Shawnee? What's the character name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Johnny. It's Johnny.
Johnny.
But
Yeah.
Zendaya, she'll make more in the next one. Yes.
Yeah. Because she has a kind of an important part in the next movie, right?
Yes, she does.
Kind of okay. I just wanted to confirm that, just because all these stands are gonna be like, well, what the fuck, man? She's the biggest name there. No, she's not the biggest
No,
name
she's
there. I'm
not.
sorry.
No, she's not. But
I'm sorry.
when you look at the cast, she is a big name because she's the
I'm
only
sorry,
one.
TikTokers. Right? I'm
She's-
sorry, TikTokers.
But when you look at her name, she's only got one name. She's known by
Uh,
Zendaya. So she's following suit with Madonna and Prince and Cher. So she's smart. And I gotta say that 300,000, that's low. I would have asked for 500.
no,
500.
man.
Do you know who I am? I'm in Spider-Man.
Mike,
Spider-Man.
Mike. If Danny Villeneuve asks you to play a bit part in one of his fucking movies, and he says, "I'll offer you $300,000," would you be like, "Oh, I want $500,000"?
Of course
No.
I would, because I'm not Zendaya.
Doesn't matter. Like I would be like,
I'm talking
hey,
about
you know what?
Zendaya.
You're gonna put my name on a movie that you made.
Well, of
Give me
course I would take it.
$100,000.
That's what I'm saying, because I'm not Zendaya.
Give me $100,000. I just want to pay my bills, and then my name will be legendary for the rest of my life, and I'm good.
I'll tell you what, Dave, you can fart on me and I'll be in your movie. You don't even have to pay me. I'll just
Right?
tell you.
Alrighty.
Let me turn the page. Let me turn the Dune pages for you. Here.
From Arrakis, we go to Earth, actually, with the Eternals. So this is the next big Marvel movie. The next big Marvel movie finally released this weekend. So this, of course, much like Guardians of the Galaxy, a very obscure, not necessarily a very established, group of characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Unlike, of course, your Spider-Man, your Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and Thor. But so the Eternals, I was always curious about how this movie looked, and it's directed by Chloe Zhao, Academy Award winner Chloe Zhao.
Yep, there you go.
When the Academy,
let's get that corrected.
right, when the Academy Awards happened earlier this year, and Chloe Zhao's film won. What's her
Nomadland.
Nomadland, thank you. That movie won quite a few Oscars. So when that movie won Best Film, Best Picture, a lot of the Marvel stands were like, "Oh my God, Eternals is gonna be an Oscar-winning movie," and I'm just like, "Calm the fuck down, people. Hold on. Let's not get too excited, because Nomadland. I've never seen Nomadland, but it's when you see the trailer, it's obviously and the cast that's in it. It's obviously a different movie, a different story. It's not a Marvel movie, But then when I saw the trailer for the Eternals, even from the first, sneak peek, it always looked interesting because this is something different. It piqued my interest. And then, of course, finding a little bit more about what the movie could be about. And when we got the final trailer, which I absolutely like and enjoy, it got me really excited to see it. So before this movie released, and we got the current, let's just say this: we don't praise the almighty tomato, but I think it's funny and amusing because for the longest time, especially with this bullshit competition of Marvel and DC, when a Marvel movie's out, it's always fresh. It's always rated fresh. And for the longest time,
90, 95,
nobody knows the true struggle unless you're a DC fan and you're rooting for your team, your home team, and you always get the rotten shit. But it's like, okay, whatever. I'm still gonna watch the movie. I'm gonna enjoy it. I don't care about critics, but it's still nice to see. It's still nice to see a movie, especially the one you're a fan of and a franchise that you're a fan of, do well, not just for the fans, but for a general audience. Because when you see a movie like, when you see the reaction for Zack Snyder's Justice League for the general audience, is that, it was exciting to see because it's probably his most well accepted and well liked movie
Since 300.
Since what?
Since 300.
Since 300, right? So that was really cool and exciting to see, because at least people, especially people who may not be a fan of Zack Snyder, now may actually like say, hey, I actually like what he did with this movie. I'd like to see what he comes up with next, right? So it gives, at least opens up more people to being open to, not just for DC movies, but for what else, this director will do, in the future. So, but yeah, so for the Eternals, we've got the description here. Real quick, the current Rotten Tomato score is 48%.
Wow.
Wait, is it really that low now?
It is that low now.
I think it's even better that it gave it to an Oscar winner to get it that low.
Wow.
Well, that's the thing, though. And that's the thing that really strike my curiosity. I'm like, how is that? And the Rotten Tomato score, is, how is it? It's not necessarily how everyone, because it's basically from a pool of critics, right? And
it's an aggregate.
Right. So let's see. So when the Rotten Tomatoes score debuted, it debuted already, I think, like 70.
No, it was 56 actually. So when
56. I know it actually, so it dropped under Thor: The Dark World, because before Eternals, Thor: The Dark World was the lowest MCU movie. Yep. Okay, so let's see. Thor: The Dark World is currently at 66%.
Okay.
So
wow.
I remember when the first so 66% is fresh. So I think anything below a 60 is rotten, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So 66% for Thor: The Dark World is still fresh, right? The audience score for that movie is 70. So you'll always see the numbers, right? Is the tomato meter is the critics' reviews. So there's 285 reviews for Thor: The Dark World. That's 66%, still fresh. The audience score is 75%, and that's over 250,000 ratings.
What's the audience score on Eternals?
So here we go.
Is it a big difference?
Yeah.
Yes. So right now, the tomato meter for Rotten Tomatoes, for Eternals, is 48% out of 297 reviews. The audience score is 81%.
Oh, damn. Wow, that's
out of
drastic.
2,500 verified ratings. So, and that's why I would tell you right now, having seen the movie last night, I really enjoyed it. In fact, I enjoyed it so much. Again, I almost bought a Lego set earlier. I'm just holding off because I got a harder to find Lego set for a good price at Costco. The Avengers, but they had a bunch of the Eternals Lego set there. But I really enjoyed the movie. I want to see it again. I can't wait for this to drop on Disney Plus so I can watch it over and over. I don't get the hate for this movie because I thought the story was well told. In the trailer, and we've been mocking it like, oh, we were not allowed to interfere. And then who told you that? And then it shows like Galactus, like bwang, like in the trailer. So that part and all the explanation, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to give spoilers. So that goes, there's more detail into it. I really think we should go spoiler free. Oh yeah. Because I want anyone else who will listen to this who hasn't watched Eternals yet to go in with no spoilers and enjoy it, because I enjoyed it. I won't even say much about what happens in this story because I don't want to give anything away, but I just enjoy the story for what it is. I thought it was well told. We get flashbacks and seeing how it all connects with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how they explain it. If you think the trailer looks cool, I think the movie is cooler. I basically just enjoyed this movie. I need some Marvel Legends action figures now, and I need some Lego sets. I really like the Galactus Arishem, every time we see him on screen,
Galactus.
every time we see him on screen and they're communicating, they're talking with him, I'm just like, oh my god, this is fucking cool. Like, I really like that part. I'm curious who the voice actor is for Arishem.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Was it as big of a risk making this movie as it was Guardians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why? Do you think that's why maybe the critics aren't liking it? Because it is a big risk.
The risk is huge because unbeknownst to the common MCU fanboys and common folk that watches Marvel movies, Kevin Feige wanted the Eternals. This was his baby.
Oh, okay.
This was the movie that he wanted to do in the first place. That's why he created the MCU. That's why he wanted to create a universe so that there's an audience pocketed for it. Because he wanted the Eternal story, he wanted Secret Wars, he wanted Secret Invasion, he wanted Galactus, he wanted the Fantastic Four, he wanted Arishem, he wanted like all of these fucking big, huge, dynamic Jack Kirby creations and all that stuff because he's a fan of the comic books.
Okay.
The reason Guardians of the Galaxy worked was because of the soundtrack.
Oh, you're just gonna nail it down to the soundtrack?
The soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the reasons why people loved it. It brought out nostalgia because just because of the fact that like, hey, this was shot the kid was from the 80s, so it's like, oh, we're gonna get 70s and 80s songs, and it'll give us like a lot of these things, and it'll be awesome, and it's gonna be fun. It was a fun ride. It had some dramatic parts. It had some comedy, all this stuff. It's great world building and all that stuff, right? The difference between the Guardians and the Eternals is the content. The Eternals, if you look or think of the heroes, the myths, the legends, the gods in human history, there's always a strong guy, there's always a fast guy, a flying guy, there's always a healer person, all that stuff, right? Every character in the Eternals is that. So basically, they were involved in the Earth's civilization from the very beginning. So the mythos is there. The world building is there. Chloe Zhao made it a point that they perfectly explained it in the movie that they were there from the beginning of human civilization. That they were the reasons why human civilization moved forward, moved back, all that stuff. In the trailers, they were said, or they were informed, right? Like how come you didn't help fight Thanos and all this stuff, right? Cersei explained because we were supposed to fight the Deviants. And one of the reasons, and I'm not going to spoil it, or it's not really a spoiler, but this is what Cersei said. If we helped out the humans in every single step that they take, how can they improve? How can they evolve into their capabilities? So that's what the Eternals said. That's why they didn't interfere with anything, because one, they were told by Arishem not to interfere unless it's deviant and deviant related, right? And two, they didn't want to, they didn't want to, they didn't want to interfere with human progress in that sense.
So why do you think that the movie is doing so bad as far as critics go?
A lot of critics expect an MCU movie, and it's not, to be honest with you.
This is very different from the usual formula?
Yeah. That's Mike, is it the cookie cutter formula for you? It's not, right?
Not necessarily.
It's more drama, right? It's more Greek tragedy than it is anything else.
Yeah.
It's closer. To be honest with you, it's closer to Macbeth.
Interesting.
Or I'm sorry, not Macbeth. Closer to Hamlet than it is to any MCU movie.
See, it not being cookie cutter honestly makes me want to see it.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Please watch it. It's a great watch. You're gonna fall in love with the characters. There are they do have the jokes. You know me, I hate the fucking jokes.
I know, yeah, me too.
I hate the little yucks and all that stuff. But
there wasn't any cringe here. There wasn't.
There wasn't any. There was like a lot of things that they did that was tastefully done. The humor was there because of the fact that the characters were humorous.
Okay.
And you're gonna fall in love with every single character, even the assholey ones.
Yeah, the cast is fantastic.
Oh, it was great.
Everyone actually was given a chance to shine. And I think that's part of why a lot of critics, I think, are not liking it, because there's so many characters and they're not necessarily like,
focusing on one whole time.
Well, what's their backstory? There's no need for a backstory because they explained it already.
Right. Everything is explained. And that's why, like, we'd mock the trailer. We were instructed not to do anything. We can't do anything. Like, why didn't you do shit? But it's actually explained. And I thought that the way they explained it and the way it worked into the story was very well done. And that's why I can't stop thinking about the movie. I can't stop thinking about the characters. Like, I really enjoyed it so much.
For me, I always try to reset my top 5 MCU movies just because of the fact that I want to change up things and everything, right? The last 2 MCU movies that I've seen, Shang-Chi and the Eternals, I can put them up there in my top 5 easily because of pure entertainment value for me, because I liked the story. I liked how it dealt with things, and I liked how it was done. Chloe Zhao built the world. She created an entire world for people to understand, and people just didn't like it because it wasn't the same old MCU popcorn movie that they were expecting.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's not. Like when I saw it, like when I was watching it last night, I was like, this isn't an MCU movie.
Yeah. And
I was shocked. I was just watching it. I was like, wow, like this is kind of it was different.
That's part of the exciting thing for me, because it's something, finally it's something different that, I've enjoyed the past MCU movies, but for some of them felt a little, there's a cookie cutter, same old thing we've seen before, but this one shows something different that it actually
had value, it had quality inside. The characters actually gave a fuck about each other.
Yes.
Jester.
Yes.
They like when people say familia, when we were joking about Fast and the Furious and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
These characters in the Eternals, it's familia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It really is. Like it's
there's bickering, there's shit like that happened between them in the movie, but at the end of the day, they're all familia.
And by the way, I do want to share. So Chloe Zhao, of course, is doing her press junket or press circuit.
Yep. Please go ahead and bask in the glory, Mike. Go ahead.
Doing interviews, and I'm like, even when the trailer came out and we saw what's his name, Rob Stark, flying around and shooting eye beams so intensely, I'm like, looks a little Man of Steel-ish, yeah. So Chloe Zhao is doing an interview, and she pretty much confirmed like Man of Steel was an inspiration for her to get the character of Icarus, played by Richard Stark.
Madsen.
Yeah, Richard Madden.
Richard Madden.
Yeah. So yeah, and she even said Zack Snyder's take on Superman. Let me get the direct quote here. Let's not misquote. But yeah, I was just like, whoa, this is awesome. And that's why yesterday on Twitter, this has been going on for
Zack Snyder is the blueprint. That's what they were saying.
Right. It trended yesterday. It trended yesterday, but it has been going on for a while now. Zack Snyder is the blueprint because a lot of what Zack Snyder did in Man of Steel has shown up in other movies. Now, of course, there's a coincidence, not necessarily all the time, but then when when you look at some of these things that are compared, it's a little too close. So you're like wondering like what's going on.
Maybe all the Warner Brothers execs got on Rotten Tomatoes and started, bombing it so that way it wouldn't do well.
Yeah.
No, yeah. This is by far the most DC out of the Marvel movies. It actually
maybe that's why I liked it so much.
no, I like to be honest with you, Jester. Like it told a story. It literally did, and at the end of the day, you're gonna enjoy yourself. I mean, to be honest with you, the only cringe things that I've noticed is like, you know what, Rob Stark and fucking Jon Snow is like talking to a girl named Cersei, right?
Julie kept saying like she got distracted because she kept thinking of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what the thing that
and I'm like, out, but that's the comics. That's Cersei is actually from the comics.
Yeah, so, Cersei.
It's spelled differently.
Yeah, so, but it's funny. And for me, it was hilarious.
Right.
Again, that's.
So here's the quote from Chloe Zhao. So this is from Forbes.com. In an interview with French outlet CinemaJouactu.com, she talked about how much she liked Man of Steel and how she wove Snyder's vision of Superman into elements of Icarus. I'm specifically reading this for all the fucking Zack Snyder haters who said, Zack Snyder doesn't know Superman. So here's the quote. She says, "You said it, not me. Superman is the Ubermensch, the ultimate man, the Superman, a concept that exists in all cultures, of all modern interpretations of Superman. This is Zack Snyder's with Man of Steel, which inspired me the most because he approached this myth in an authentic and very real way. I remember thinking it was Superman by Terrence Malick when I saw the trailer. This film left a strong impression on me, but Icarus is, of course, our own take on Superman." So
it's kind of ironic. I'm looking at a picture here. I wonder if you could see it. Here, I'm gonna. Anyway, it says there's the two buttons on this panel. It says support Eternals, hate Snyder, and then it's MCU fanboys like dabbing their sweaty heads.
I saw that meme.
Yeah,
yep, I saw that meme.
Okay.
That was hilarious. I still need to see. But yeah, also not spoilers. This is in the trailer or some of the TV spots. Superman is mentioned in this film.
Yep.
And I think so is Batman.
Yep.
And Alfred. And Alfred. And I'm just like, wow, what is going on here?
Wow.
Like Kevin Feige,
no,
okay
Kevin Feige okayed it because you know what he said. Like Kevin Feige said it himself when he saw Zack Snyder's Justice League, he was thoroughly impressed. He said, like, this is what world building was supposed to be. Come on, like the biggest name in the MCU, the king or the creator of the MCU loves Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
So
what's your source for this? Where'd you see this?
He in an interview somewhere. I don't know. Fucking.
Oh, okay. I heard it. That's cool. That's awesome.
But that's again, it's a different Jack Kirby would have been proud of this fucking movie if he was alive.
Yep.
And I love the fact at the very end, Mike, when they said, right, the Eternals created by Jack Kirby only. Like they didn't put fucking Stan Lee's name on it because it's only Jack Kirby that created the Eternals.
Yeah.
I love that, and for me, that was it. That was the check mark that I was waiting for. Like, yep, Chloe Zhao did her homework.
Yep.
So, like, I man, like I can watch this movie over and over. Fucking Angelina Jolie was beautiful and gorgeous and fantastic in this movie. Don Lee, Gilgamesh was amazing.
Yeah.
Icarus was awesome.
All of them were awesome. I'm like,
and
man.
dude, like Makari, the fast one, right?
Yes.
She was so good.
She was. And so by the way, the actress, so I have some shit I need to pick on with her too. So Makari is played, so she's basically the Flash of the team. She runs really fast. She's played by actress Lauren Ridloff. So she's a deaf actor. She signs in the whole movie, which I thought was awesome. That was really cool. And that's how the other characters communicated with her too. And they even, like the cast even learned sign language from her. So she was great. No problems there. She was awesome in the movie. The only thing I have some shit to pick on her with is the fact that she made a comparison to this DC character. So so she's saying that Makari is faster than the Flash. Which of course she's
all right. We'll see about that.
She's getting a lot of heat for, and rightfully so, because with the way she compares it. Okay, so this is a quote. Okay, so this is a conversation I had with my son. So talking with her son. When he first found out that I was going to be the fastest woman in the universe, he said, "No, you're not." He brought over his laptop and looked into the computer and said, "Look, it's true. Flash is faster than Makari." But then she said, "But I'm sure Makari because she travels faster than the speed of sound." But hold up. It looks like the speed of light is much faster than the speed of sound, right? So that's where, and Flash's powers came from a lightning bolt. So there you go. So I just thought that was hilarious because she's probably misquoted, of course, but it was just funny. Like
her fight scenes was amazing. Like I really fucking loved it.
I enjoyed
the way Jester, those mythos in Mesopotamia and ancient Babylon about those monsters with the wings and the claws and the body of lions and tails of scorpions and shit like that, right?
Yeah, the biblical demons. Basically.
Yeah, all of those things basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
The deviants kind of sort of look like that. So it's like the way.
Well, I thought that was sort of the point. I mean, even in the comic books, they very much reference some biblical, and they reference some Greek, and they reference some like quite a bit of stuff all in one.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. And again, the thing is, like they're going throughout like human history with the Eternals. They're just explaining like these guys were benevolent protectors. They were helping them out get rid of getting rid of the deviants and stuff. In the comic books, I think they retconned it already, but Thanos was a deviant.
Oh, okay.
So because of the MCU thing and how famous Thanos is, they don't want him to be a deviant. So he's an Eternal with a deviant variation.
Okay.
So that's why he looks like a fucking he looks like a fucking purple nutsack.
Right.
Than like a regular person.
Yeah.
So that's the only retcon, the only change that they have. So yeah, Eternals 2 is gonna come. It's gonna come with along with. It's gonna tie in with everything. It's gonna tie in with Quantum Mania. It's gonna tie in with the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's gonna tie in with Thor, Love and Thunder. They don't realize how big of a fucking movie the Eternals is, and like when people hate on it, I'm like, all right, but you're gonna see like how this little tiny ass movie who wasn't supposed to, who isn't anything supposed to be, it's gonna influence the rest of the phases moving forward, because this was Feige's this was the one that Feige wanted to do. So
yep. And the 2 post-credit scenes are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because they're, of course, a lot more setup for what's to come in the future.
Very
cool.
They introduced like one of the more polarizing characters of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that character's polarizing, huh? Interesting.
Oh yeah. He's polarizing because some people like him, some people don't. The character itself in the comic book, he was funny.
But the actor himself,
I don't give a shit. Like I don't give a shit. Like
the actor has a pretty big following.
Yeah, he looks the part.
Yeah,
he looks the part.
Yeah.
So like when I saw him and the way he spoke and he talked, I'm like, okay, yeah, he can play Eros. That's cool.
Right.
So that's kind of cool, but yeah, once Jester gets a chance to see the movie, we're gonna go deep dive into it. Like there's one thing that I was a little about the little change, the change that they did from the comic books is I'm a little disappointed in that, but I understand.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, we're gonna see how it does. Hopefully, yeah, it looks like it's gonna do well. For the next.
If not, fuck them. There you go. That's the.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel has built, their.
I saw it. Like I don't know if you guys know this this app called Clubhouse. There's a lot of people that talk on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
There's a group that I saw. It says like thoughts on the Eternals. Is the MCU 26-0 or are they 25-1? Like when it comes to movies. And I was about to comment something, but like it was our time to fucking go to the to do our thing. I was gonna comment. I was like, Captain Marvel is a loss. Thor: The Dark World is an L.
Well, depending on how you look at it, because financially, Captain Marvel is a win.
And again, I'm talking about movies itself. Yeah, financially, yeah. That's I guess that's what they're talking about. But again,
yeah.
Like for me, I was just laughing. But then the funny thing is, they were talking about the Eternals, right? And one fucking MCU fanboy pointed it out, and he's like, you know what? This movie was like, it reminded me so much of, this movie reminded me so much of like Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck is that tangent that he's going on to? Like, I thought he was gonna pan on, because that's not the topic, right? People just don't understand. Like, again, this is cinema. This is what we're talking about. This is what great directors are doing. They're trying to tell a story instead of that cookie cutter shit that everybody loves. I was like, oh my god, he said cookie cutter shit. I was like, oh my god.
Ding 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 ding. That's the buzzword.
Oh man,
I also want to talk about so supposedly this movie, so Eternals, has reportedly been banned from several Gulf countries after local censors pushed for changes to the film, including. So I'm wondering, aside from this, I'm wondering what other scenes they want to change. So, but the big one is the portrayal of a same-sex relationship. So the film will not be shown in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait.
Yep.
According to the Hollywood Reporter and Variety. But when we watched the movie, when I saw the scene, I'm like, of course, it's a big deal for them in those countries.
Mike,
it makes sense.
It's a big deal, not because it's a homosexual relationship. It's a big deal because it's a homosexual relationship with a Arabic person.
That's right. The other actor, right?
Right, because he spoke in perfect Arabic, and then I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, okay, now I see the hate. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think of the first sex scene in the MCU?
I was surprised. I was really surprised because for a few moments there, it looked like he was pumping or something. I was like, holy shit! Like, this is actually happening.
And for me, again, this is
the
story. This is the story of Icarus and Cersei growing fond of each other on planet Earth while they were saving the humans and all that stuff. They fell in love.
Yeah.
Is it really the
physically.
first one though? I mean, like, what about Iron Man?
And that one is
So-
a twist. That one is a twist.
Yeah.
This is basically like seriously like
This is
people-
an actual love scene.
like Icarus was actually on top of Cersei, and there were some
Yeah.
movements, bro.
They're straight up
'cause-
thrusting.
Nah, no, you don't show the thrust.
Well, it
because that would be
almost
an
looks
R-rated
like he
movie.
is. It almost.
But it
looks
was like
he
it was
is.
more like this, and then kind of
Come
sort
on,
of
I
moving.
mean that's basically what we saw in Iron Man. Then
Oh no!
No, we didn't. We
Iron
didn't
Man-
see Iron Man was just
Iron Man,
the next morning.
they were like tackling each other in the bed, and then they fell.
Yeah, and then the next
Mm.
morning.
That wasn't.
wow, so it
Morning
goes
wasn't-
further than that, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
but they said there was like it's cool. Richard and Gemma Chan they were good friends, and it made it easier.
Yeah, it makes it easier to grind on your co-star. No problem.
Hey man, shit. If she's as beautiful as Gemma Chan, fucking, I'd be like, all right. If I have to do it for the
If I
MCU,
have
then so
to,
be it.
I mean, if I got to get paid, I guess I'll just
You know,
thrust on you a little bit.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah.
it was tastefully done, and again, people say that it wasn't necessary, but for me, at the very high point of the movie, the very apex, the climax of the movie, you will understand why they had to show the love.
Yeah, 99% of the time, it's not necessary. It's just there.
Yeah, this time it is. You'll understand.
We'll see. I'll wait and see.
Yep.
Before I say anything.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Yep. But yeah, this is how I want to see more Marvel movies of, where the director really shines and really makes it their own. So I'm really impressed with Chloe Zhao. But yeah, bring on the Eternals too.
Electric
Alrighty.
Boogaloo.
Yeah, Space Boogaloo. Alrighty, moving on to the Batman, which is coming up in March. Warner Brothers released the official synopsis for the film. And it's very interesting because the words they're using here. So the official synopsis for the Batman is an edgy, action-packed thriller that depicts Batman in his early years, struggling to balance rage with righteousness as he investigates a disturbing mystery that has terrorized Gotham. Robert Pattinson delivers a raw, intense portrayal of Batman as a delusioned, desperate vigilante awakened by the realization that the anger consuming him makes him no better than the ruthless serial killer he's hunting. So,
Nice.
very meaty. There's a lot to unpack there.
Oh,
Like
I
action,
have
thriller.
I have two words in regard to describe that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Batman kills.
Oh, that'd be interesting if we actually see him kill.
He will fucking kill like a couple of people in this movie. Like,
Well,
I will guarantee you that.
Remember,
and
they
then,
did.
and then there will be repercussions. Again, they suppose that they can do the mythos of like, oh, I don't want to kill him, but like, because like when you saw the trailer, like my wife saw the trailer, right, when we saw Dune or something, and when he grabbed that dude by the neck and slammed him into the pole, like my wife said, like she heard the crack, right, like that. And then, like, my wife was like, Batman broke his neck. And I was like, yeah, but Batman doesn't kill. Kill or not, he broke his neck. I was like, yeah, he'll be a pair.
And there's even a scene in the trailer where Batman is beating up on some guy, and even Catwoman, who's looking onward, kind of flinches, and she's like shocked at what's happening and how he's reacting.
It's like that
So-
TikTok meme of like, you want what he's having? That's what I thought.
So remember, not too long ago, they did a test screening for an audience of the 3-hour cut of this film. And one of the guys even said, it's very, at the very end, there's something shocking, truly shocking that happens. And what more could it be than Batman really
Eats out
crossing
Catwoman?
the line and doing something?
Yeah, he
What was
crosses
that,
the line or
Jester?
something.
As a he eats out Catwoman, right? Because that's what heroes do.
Oh yeah, I think
It's so
that's
shocking.
that would be the best end credit scene though. And then be like, "Hey Marvel, you like your sex scenes, huh? How about this?"
Here's a one up.
By the way, I do want to mention real quick, the Eternals, which has its actual more like really straight up sex scene, love scene, right now has Happy Meal toys at McDonald's.
Can you make them do the thrusting?
So actually, okay. So if you look at, okay, I'm gonna focus on. So here's Icarus, right? Icarus, his arms go up so he can fly. Yippee! But it's Cersei that's got me curious because when I press the button on the back of her head, her hand goes up like she's about to touch Icarus's junk. Like he's ready to like fondle. So I'm just like, yo, what's going on here?
Good one.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, there you go. The Batman official synopsis. Less than 6 months from now, we're gonna get this movie. And that was the first trailer right when the trailers started for Eternals. That was the first trailer that kicked it off. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, fuck yeah. I love seeing this trailer on the big screen. So really cool. And then after that, of course, they show the kitty shit, which I thought was funny. Like, let's show you hardcore Batman first. By the way, is there a rating yet? I'm curious now.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be R. Yeah, it's
right?
gotta be.
Like,
I'd
man,
be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah.
It has to be R.
That's really fascinating. Is the Batman going to be rated R? DC Films, the Batman confirmed the movie won't be rated R.
Oh wow,
Despite
that's
some
crazy.
early rumors. But then that's the thing. Like, how are you gonna show this R movie? It has Lego sets. It has Lego sets for the kids.
Hey, what about Deadpool?
Action figures in the toy aisle.
What about Deadpool?
What about
That's
Deadpool?
an R-rated movie.
Yeah, and
he
Deadpool
doesn't he have
Legos?
Lego sets? Doesn't he
Nope.
have like?
No, there's no Lego set of him yet.
No Lego sets.
Really?
Not for Deadpool. They got away with making action figures by not make. They didn't make the movie action figures. They made the comic version of the.
Correct. Yep.
But there now is the movie action figures, which Hasbro has made. They finally made them. There was just a transition of the when Disney bought Fox, because now they made the Deadpool and the X-Men action figures, but now there is. So by Deadpool 3, who knows if that's going to be rated R or PG-13?
That's PG-13. Come on, this is a Disney film, man.
So,
they're not gonna make a fucking
right. But I think they can still get away with this. I mean, I would love this Batman movie to be rated R.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dude. I want to see brutality. See, these are the things that, like, like when my wife and I saw the preview for the Batman, she liked it. She's like, oh man, like, Pattinson actually is doing, she said like he has the mouth of Bruce Wayne. Like, or the mouth of Batman, like the way the Batman looks in from the nose down, right?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, the jawline and everything. He's like, no, I'm talking about like the mouth area and all that stuff, and it's very Batman-like. And he's like, I'm not sure of him as being Bruce Wayne, but like, but yeah, it should be fine. And she says like, I hope it's like, a very brutal, very violent Batman. And I was like, I hope so too, but they're probably not going to do it. But
well, I mean, you look at the trailer already, you're seeing brutality and violence right there.
I know, but
perhaps more than we've ever seen in a Batman trailer before.
We saw the trailer for Batman vs Superman when he kicked the shit out of everybody in the warehouse. That was kind of brutal.
Oh yeah, that was brutal too. But I think it looks like Matt Reeves has kicked it up a notch and said like more.
I know, like, the armor-plated Batman, where like, he's taking bullets like from an AK-47. I was like,
yeah,
okay, that's a little It's a little extreme, but okay, I got you.
When you have
You
the
know.
money, it's like, why the fuck am I gonna dodge these bullets when I can just fucking walk through them?
Yeah,
Yep.
like he's point blank range. He's getting shot by AK-47s, and I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like a walking tank. Okay, cool.
yeah. I mean, the Batmobile is a fucking tank in this one too. Like you fucking,
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, I got him. I got him.
I got you.
And then I was like,
Yeah, nope.
shit.
And I love that shot in the trailer where Penguin is upside down and he's walking towards him.
Yeah.
Like slowly
amidst
too.
the fiery explosion behind him. I'm like, oh, and then the title like zooms out and I'm like, oh my god.
So
oh
cool.
my god.
And and this is the thing that the MCU people like. They still want, oh, it'd be nice if DC had their continuity and all that stuff. DC doesn't give a shit. DC knows about the multiverse and the universe. We can create different stories about anything. If they want to create
Right.
a continuity, then they'll do that. Then they'll make a movie, whatever. But it doesn't have to be that way. The MCU fanboys got sucked into this continuity and
Everything has
universe.
to connect.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. Like, to be honest with you, so
Right. And it's it's the DC multiverse. So
yeah,
different variations of the same character.
Yep.
So
and I like it. So
Yup. Alrighty. So from the Batman, earlier tonight we got a new poster, official poster, drop for Spider-Man, a little movie called Spider-Man No Way Home, that's gonna be hitting movie theaters exclusively in December. So the official social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm assuming Twitter as well, dropped the brand new poster for Spider-Man No Way Home. And it shows, of course, Spider-Man amidst a pile of debris in his Iron Spider armor suit. And you can see the tentacles of Doc Ock. You can see a lightning bolt. And you can see what looks like some sand from the Sandman. Lightning bolt from Electro. And you can see in the background a tiny image of what looks like the Green Goblin on his Goblin glider. So there you go. December 17th, exclusively in movie theaters, in premium large formats and IMAX. So, and of course, that little poster is enough to make all the fanboys excited. I'm hoping, judging on what we're seeing with this poster, since they dropped it tonight, I'm hoping we get a trailer tomorrow. Is there football tomorrow? Is there a football game?
oh yeah,
It should
Night
be
Football.
Monday Night Football. Yeah, there's always Monday Night Football.
So most likely, if we don't get this trailer drop in the morning, we're probably gonna get the trailer drop right during the football game, because that's what they've been doing in the past. For Disney has been doing that for the past Star Wars sequel trilogy films. They've dropped trailers then during a football game, because that's when a lot of eyes are on on the game. So yeah, if we don't get it tomorrow morning, I'm hoping we get it during sometime in the evening. And there's apparently a lot of leaks with the trailer description with that next trailer. So, talking about the DC multiverse and getting that sneak peek, the first look of the Flash movie, we get to hear Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne Batman and see the back of his cowl. And Jester, you were right. That is Batfleck's cowl on the floor in that trailer, because I rewatched that trailer a few times and I'm like, yeah, that is Batfleck's cowl. Bloody bat cowl on the floor in Wayne Manor. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, Warner Brothers has confirmed that, yeah, we're gonna give you not one, not two. You're actually gonna get 3 Batmans next year on the big screen. But in one movie, you're gonna get 2 Batman. You're gonna get Batfleck and you're gonna get Keaton, in the same movie. And meanwhile, over here, Spider-Man No Way Home, we haven't gotten any official confirmation from Marvel that we're actually gonna get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. But of course, it's all in the leaks. And
Everybody fucking knows already that it's gonna be them.
Watch him pull a boner joke on this movie.
Oh man. Oh man. That's gonna piss off a lot.
I might walk out.
A lot.
I would straight up just walk out. Like, yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done with Marvel for right now.
Oh man. That would be hilarious. But yeah, that would piss off a lot of people.
They just make it 3 Toms instead of like the different actors. They're just like,
Peter B. Parker and Ben O'Reilly or something like that, right?
Right. It's not the different actors. It's the same actor, just different suits. Got him.
I would love to see Ben Reilly on screen. Oh man, a blonde Tom Holland. Oh man, give me that action figure. Oh shit, I love the Ben Reilly suit though in the comics, the first one.
I know, you like the asshole Spider-Man.
The Scarlet Spider.
Well, the Scarlet Spider suit is like one of the best ones.
Yeah, I fucking love
he's the asshole Spider-Man.
I don't fucking care. Right? You're still Peter Parker.
He's a clone.
So you can say Peter Parker is an asshole.
No,
much like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3 with the dance.
No, he's a bigger asshole in the comic books.
Oh yeah, of course. Can't
all right.
Always be the nice guy.
Yeah, you can't be like Nightwing all the time.
Yeah, with a lot of ass.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, that's pretty much it. Anything else you guys want to share? What you're currently watching, or anything you've seen lately?
Oh, go ahead. Justin.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just watching Travis Scott get bombarded with a bunch of hate.
Yeah, well deserved. His concert killed 8 people. Of course, he deserves all that shit.
That's crazy. Yeah, Astroworld was canceled,
and he hasn't taken up the opportunity to hey, you know what? We're gonna look into it, investigate. We're gonna figure it out, whatever. Nope.
Really?
No.
He's hiding behind a Kardashian because she whatever.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Anyways, 2 things that I saw on Netflix recently, and I fucking loved it. Army of Thieves.
Yeah.
Amazing. Army of Thieves is amazing. That Dieter is fucking he's hilarious, man. He's like I didn't realize that he directed the shit.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, okay.
not bad for directing the film and starring in it. So
yeah, like the casting was great. Everybody was amazing in that casting. Everybody was great in that. But the one that I really want to advertise and push again is the movie The Harder They Fall.
I need to see that. I heard it's amazing.
This is a take on real life characters of African American cowboys and cowgirls or Western folk, right? The story itself is not it's fictional because the shit that happened between them, it didn't happen, but the characters itself is based on real folk. And awesome. The director and the script writer, they just wanted to tell a story of a Western with all these characters together. Hey, this could have happened, sometime in the 1800s or whatever. And the casting is excellent. The dialogue, the script is amazing. Idris Elba is fucking amazing in this movie. The music itself is captivating. It's great. It's one of the best movies I've seen this year, and bar none. And I thought I was just gonna watch it and I mean like, oh, it's just gonna pass the time while I'm at when I'm working from home and everything. Nope. I pretty much forgot about work and I started watching the fucking movie.
Nice.
So just that's a must watch for you guys if you want to see it. Yeah, that's all I have.
Cool. I enjoyed You season 3 on Netflix. I really like season 1. Season 2 was okay. Season 3 I thought was awesome. So bring on.
No, you got fucking banned for TikTok or Instagram for that shit. So.
I didn't get banned. The TikTok video
got removed.
Banned. Not me per se, but
yeah. Fucking TikTok. TikToks are, I don't know. I don't like the algorithm.
So a big sister from our church group actually DM'd me, and she explained to me that, which actually made sense. So when she talked to me about it, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna argue that. Like, so she told me, hold on. So basically, real quick, the TikTok that I made is based on You season 3, and in the TikTok that I made, I pulled out a knife. It's a pretty big knife. It's a kitchen knife that we use for cutting up, vegetables or meat. But when I pulled the knife, I acted like I was wiping the knife, pretending like it was just used. And the way I look at the camera, of course, doesn't help. So she pretty much told me like, yeah, you didn't necessarily mean. Okay, so here she said, just a thought. It may have been done in jest, but you have a lot of followers. Though the act may not be dangerous per se, you won't be aware of how the optics can affect the viewer. Maybe the visual can trigger emotions for people with traumatic history or trigger others to act on something. I guess the app, she's talking about TikTok, just doesn't have any other classification to use other than what they used. So, and this, she just said it was just her 2 cents. So I was like, yeah, thanks for your input. That actually makes sense because, yeah, the last thing I want to do when I make TikToks, first of all, I make TikToks to entertain and to make, if I can make people laugh, great. And if they're entertained, but if I don't want to trigger anyone,
So let me get this straight, Mike. You wiping a knife with a towel, looking all weird in on the camera and all that stuff, it's a bad thing. But fake ass doctors, fake nurses, and fake people talking about like vaccines don't work.
No comment. No
Okay.
comment. The misinformation.
And fake ass fake ass suburban kids from Florida singing "Island Boy."
What the fuck?
Fucking that's okay.
You tell me. You tell me. That's the thing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's the thing with social media. They thrive on a lot of the misinformation that's out there because it gets a lot of views, it gets a lot of traction and activity and comments and likes. So that's the unfortunate.
I'm an island boy. I love that sing. I'm an island boy. Hey Jester, are you an island boy?
No.
You should be an island boy.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Say that. I'm an island boy.
No, I'm not gonna say that. No comment, right?
Oh
no
no
comment.
So it's fun. Have you seen that? Have you seen the TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Stupid.
So I thought it was interesting. So we watched Eternals last night, and that one of the themes in that movie is also time and how they have all this time, they've spent so much time on Earth, over 7,000 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And earlier, since it is daylight saving time today, we went back in time an hour.
And I'm in Arizona.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, you guys aren't as cool as all the other states.
Yeah,
Arizona and Hawaii. Arizona and Hawaii can't time travel.
Arizona is eternal. Sorry. Sorry.
There you go. I checked out About Time on Netflix. We watched it, and I was really interested. I really liked the movie. I thought it was really interesting. So, it's time travel, but not necessarily sci-fi. It's more romantic, romantic drama, a little bit of comedy. I like.
Is this the one in the fucking subway? Is this the one that they traveled in the subway to go back in time?
No.
It's Dominic. It's Dominic. Whatever his name is, right?
Domhnall Gleeson. Yeah. Domhnall Gleeson and what's her name?
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, you haven't seen it? I thought you've seen it.
No.
Yeah. So this is from 2000. It's on Netflix. This is from 2013. and I thought it was really fascinating, really interesting. We also get to see a young Margot Robbie in the film. And
Younger,
then
right?
Bill Nye is his father.
Uh-huh.
Actually a superb cast. So, but yeah, what's Donald Gleason's character's name in Force Awakens? Oh my god. He plays the First
He
Order.
plays the First Order or General, whatever.
Yeah. Jester, do you remember his character's name?
Oh my gosh, it starts with an H, doesn't it?
Hux. There we
Hux,
go.
thank you.
Hux.
Yeah.
General Hux. So it's interesting because he's in this movie, and also in this movie is the actor that plays General Pride in The Rise of Skywalker.
Mm.
Huh.
Yeah. What's his face? General Pride actor is Richard E. Grant. There you go. Yeah. So he's also in the film. But yeah, it's a fascinating film. There's time travel. So I'm curious to see what Kuya thinks. You should check it out. I'm curious to see what you think about it.
Unless, like,
Okay,
this is what I said.
so that's the thing. It doesn't focus so much on the sci-fi aspect of it, but there are some rules that's established
Mm-hmm.
because its focus is more on the romantic drama story of it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But there's no flux capacitor. There's no speed force.
TARDIS.
There's no
No
TARDIS.
TARDIS.
No
Okay.
TARDIS. So
There's no mission going back in time to grab the stones before the stones were known to be grabbed.
No quantum realm.
No. Okay.
Quantum swatch wrist Rolexes.
No
Hot tub
Quantum
time
Ocean's
machine?
11 heist.
No
No?
hot tub
Okay.
time machines. It's very simple. I thought it was very simple in that way. It was kind of unique. Like, okay.
There's a romantic movie in the 80s, I believe. Christopher Reeves.
Somewhere in time.
Yeah. That's probably the closest thing I'll ever get to a time travel romantically.
Yeah.
Because that shit was sad, bro.
Yeah, I heard. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like it was very sad. Like because of the twist that they did, because it was like fucking twisty.
Ah, interesting.
But the thing is, I don't get how the twist happened, because the rule that they set for the time traveling is you can't break it. But what that twist that they did was like so yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much it. That's the episode.
Jester, do you have anything to recommend to watch?
Not really. I'm still in halfway through Cowboy Bebop. I gotta finish that before the live action comes out.
Hey, are you on? Did you see the episode already with the bouncing fat guy? And
no, I haven't.
okay,
I haven't even gotten to the part where they get the fourth main character.
Oh, you mean Ed?
Ed, yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. I think I'm like one episode away.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna like Ed. Ed's fun. But go look for that that episode with the fat guy, the jumping fat guy, because it's him and Spike only in the show or in the movie or in the episode.
Well, I'm gonna watch all of them. So
yeah, and then the blues guy also, the saxophone guy. So
okay, nice.
You're gonna love it.
Alrighty. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening or watching. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you name it. We'd appreciate it. We'd like to hear from you guys. That would be cool.
Please leave comments. Leave accusations, violent reactions, or anything. Just leave something.
Yeah. Hopefully. Who knows? We'll see. Alrighty. Thank you guys for listening. Till next time, stay safe out there, y'all. See ya.
Ta-ta.
Bye.